Hi guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. We are down to day 23 in the Advent calendar for Spellbinders. I have got one more Advent calendar video coming up, and that's going to be tomorrow, and it will be a live stream at 4 p.m. Eastern, so would love for you to come and hang out with me to kind of close things out before Christmas comes up. I'm sure that you've got some more cards you need to get finished up before Christmas. Anyway, let's go ahead and open this up though for day 23 and see what's in there and see what we can come up with to create. Well, all in anticipation for day 24. This one is the last one we're going to be opening. So today we've got this one here, and that again is day 23. I thought I was getting better at opening things, but apparently not. Okay, here we go. This one, thinking of you. It looks like we've got some dies for nice thank you card type of thing. So thinking of you, I'm thinking of course you're thinking of folks when they are when you're wanting to say thank you for stuff, but it's also just an everyday kind of card. So we've got some dies, and it's with that nice scripty font and that nice bubble cut. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of these, and then we'll see what kind of cards I can come up with to put them on. So I've got a couple cut out. Full sentiment. I'm doing just black and white, basic black and white. That should work on pretty much any card, but you can absolutely use different colors if you like. Let's go ahead and assemble the sentiment with the bubble cuts, and then we can pick out some panels. I am still trying to work my way through some of the panels that I've made over the last couple of years that I have not actually gotten around to using. So I've got a bunch of stuff. This is just a little bit of it. Just saying. So I'm going to try my best to start working my way through those, using up a lot of my old panels, and then intermixed, making some new ones that I can make using cards. But you're going to see that a lot over 2024. That is one of my goals. I've got a few different goals, guys. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got my little sentiment here. I'm just going to tap it onto some glue on my hand to make sure I get enough on there, but not too much. And then just take the bubble cut and situate it right in the middle there. And even if it's off a little bit, you know what? Nobody's going to know. But now we can see the word, and it doesn't matter if we put it on, what color we put this on, you're still going to be able to see it. It's still going to pop. So that's one of the things I like about the bubble cuts. If you use whatever color you use for your bubble cut piece, as long as it contrasts, upside down, as long as it contrasts with what your sentiment is cut in, you're going to be able to see the sentiment pretty well on whatever you put on there. And black, of course, black and white are the biggest contrast. Okay, so we've got a little white one here, a white sentiment with black. After I get the little extra piece out from inside the F, I probably cut a couple of these not exactly right, because you do want to make sure that you cut everything when you go into your die cutting machine, you want it to be at an angle, because if it's vertical, if it's straight vertical or straight horizontal, it does not work as well. It just doesn't cut all the way through. It's kind of like, I don't know, I do know that you wind up with that big jarring sound, like when you go over a speed bump, and you don't really want to do that when you're trying to get things to cut through. It just does not cut through as well. I'm going to go ahead and finish these up, and then we can start putting them on a card. So I've had this panel. I've got an embossed panel. I've done a lot of embossed panels just to try out and see what the embossing folder was going to look like, and try them out on different colors and that sort of thing. And that's always a good way to add texture to your background. But you can also use that kind of as your main thing. You don't have to have it as, kind of the behind the scenes kind of thing. This one is going to be a little bit of both. If I can get the glue down onto this other one. This is a die cut border panel that Spellbinders put out sometime in the last year. I'll have to see if I can find the actual one. It could be a box of them. It could be a club kit. It could be pretty much anything. It's basically, I think, made for like mini slimlines, but this is going to work great on here. What I'm going to do is just attach it to the front of my panel here. put an acrylic block on it so that it has time to dry, because you guys have heard me say a lot lately that foil of any type does not like to stick to anything else, does not like glue. First, let me make sure I get that straight because it's a little bit crooked. And because it hasn't had time to actually dry, I'm able to move it around. Okay, let's see if I can put it in place without shifting it again. Okay, so that looks straight. I'll put my acrylic block down on there, and then I'll come back in a few minutes so it'll have time to dry. And then all I have to do is just trim it off and add the sentiment, and we are done. So now we're just going to trim that off, which these bits could also be used for something else. And there is the front of our card. I think that is super pretty. Now I'm going to just add our sentiment on here. For this one, I'm adding the black with the white letters and putting it onto a white card base. And as always, I'm also adding the panel down with some foam tape. Love that little bit of dimension. And once I'm done with this last bit of the sentiment, I will be adding that acrylic block again while we put the other one together, because part of this is, of course, going over that pretty foil. I'm going to give that one a try. So I'm doing the same kind of thing with another panel. Again, these are basically the top ones that were in my stack. So it's not where I'm overthinking at this time for a change. I've got some pretty flowers from a background stamp. I'm not sure where I got it from. It might be Hero Arts. It might be Spellbinders. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was red rubber, so it was probably Hero Arts or Simon. Anyway, because, you know, Simon Hurley has some awesome stamps. I've trimmed up all of these down, or these two anyway, to 4 by 5 1/4, so that I can get them to fit onto my panel with that little bit of a border around the edges. So we've got the border there. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm just going to put the thinking of you across it, and that card is going to be pretty much done. But I might add a little bit of bling. I think that would probably be a nice touch. And this panel has some heat embossing on it, so it is trying to kind of move around just a little bit with the glue. So now and now I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. Just looking at it again just to see, do I want it to, I kind of like that diagonal there, but I'm going to shift this down just a little bit. I'm going to say that is good. I'm going to put the block on this one, and I'm going to grab out a little bit of bling. So I grabbed out my Target table scatter that is lasting friggin' forever. It wouldn't last that long if I used it in more shaker cards, but yeah, I kind of just use it as that little bit of extra on my cards. And then I forget that I have it for a bit. I'm probably gonna have to put a little bit more glue behind that one. I think that's what I'm gonna do. This one's big enough, it needs a little bit more glue to hold it on there well. There we go. And I say that's didn't really need more than that. Perfect, looks good. Do the same kind of thing, I think, on this second one. I do kind of like it down by the U. And that's going to finish up these cards. So that they were real quick and easy, super simple, and using up some of the panels that I've got in my stash. And you can see this is just one stack I really need to go through and get all these guys used up. Anyway, you guys have a great day. I will see you tomorrow for Christmas Eve and for the last day of the Advent calendar. Again, that is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I will be live right here on YouTube. I'll probably be streaming also onto Twitch, and if I can get enough of an internet connection, maybe onto Facebook as well. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you then. Bye, guys.